Warming up the ivory. Reminding us to turn on the sulfite. Ah, very good.
I don't know why, but it just did. Remember that song?
Okay. Rabbi,
Mark,
Yeah.
you lost your
can you
key.
show them the left out?
Sure.
All right.
All right. Shall we begin on page 120 and 121 with the candle blessing?
We have the book right here, if there's anyone who wants to come up in front of the candles and bless the candles.
Felicia, would you like to do that? Bavakasha.
It's right here, you don't even have to read it. I've already opened it. Oh, I like that. You should have taught me that ages ago.
Better when it's in use than you see how it's
Say it again.
Bivakasha.
Remember you helped me on some of this?
So I'm hearing that since I'm 12. Some, except it was more like my teacher. The class got noisy. Bivakasha.
You did?
So it was a little different flavor.
Hi, Finn.
As these? Ruach atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
And if you want to read the English on the left as these Shabbat candles, you want to help me?
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Love it. That was great, thanks.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Vincent. Thank you, Felicia. Let's look at the quote at the bottom of the page that Martin Buber wrote. Help me perfect my ways of loving and caring. Inspire me to make myself whole, so that I may honor your name and create a world of justice and peace. Wow, what a beautiful thing to say, right? Because if you become whole yourself, then you are the best self you can be, and that honors God, and that creates a world of justice and peace. So beautiful. Okay. We are moving on to page 138, where we have Lecha Dodi, to you, my beloved, who we call the faces of the Sabbath. We call you the bride who is the faces of the Sabbath. we turn to page 142, where we continue our service with Shalom Aleichem.
And we have coffee.
Oh, thank you,
Lots
Robin.
and
I
lots
wasn't
of
sure.
Finally.
Yes.
Save the
Felicia,
tree.
you may not know, but I wrote a couple of more verses for the Shalom Aleichem in
Save the
English.
tree.
It is not a translation, by the way.
No.
It's not a translation. It's the feeling of the song is what I'm trying to convey. Because if I told you what,
This is a job for Ben. See, he's got them young legs.
can you come up here?
The young man.
Oh, yeah, you tell
See, he'd be
telling
running
me.
around.
Absolutely.
Save the music director.
And then you enabled me to make copies. We can leave them in the books. We'll leave them in the
Thank you
books.
to all of you.
Because now we have
Peace
enough.
unto all.
Oh, that is a smart
In
idea.
the
I didn't
book.
think of it, it wasn't me.
Just fold it in half when you're done and put it right there in page 143. It'll be perfect.
You got to believe them.
So we'll put the
And-
in half and leave them in the book.
Yeah, when you're done.
Okay.
That is such a cool thing to do.
It is. Thank you for thinking of that, Robin.
All right, well, I didn't think of it, but I did think to make copies for a change. I thought of it during the night.
We love how you're bringing.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, it was Vicky's idea. Thank you, Vicky.
Yay, Vicky.
That is a smart idea. Okay.
Here we go. And
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Eyom, Melech Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lochem leShalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Melech Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni leShalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Melech Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem leShalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Melech Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Could we go a little bit faster? Shalom Aleichem, and to all our friends as well. Welcome, angels on high. Come and join us at our Shabbat table. Share our cup of joy. Come join us singing, let your spirit soar with us. Together we will rise tonight. When we gather, fellowship and joy abound. Love and peace are filling our hearts. And now you fold it in half and put it in page 143, and it will forever be there at your pleasure.
143.
That's where it is. Okay. We continue our service with the Baruch Hu. The Baruch Hu is found on page 146. Time for Margaret.
I'm gonna have to have a picture.
Yes. And just for those who don't get the clue, when the ark opens, then we rise. Now that, if it is difficult for you, that is not meant for you, okay? Just relax. But for the rest of us, we're trying to, when the ark opens, we stand up, okay? La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. And we are going to just move ahead to Shema on page 152 and skip the aerobics for the moment. So we'll just remain standing and say the Shema.
Sounds great to me.
Okay.
And
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shekehod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. And we continue with the Ve'ahavta on page 154.
you just talk.
Okay. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levacha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ושעריך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך. וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. You may be seated, Margaret. We We continue on page 156, where we have the reading, all this we hold. Everyone? All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior, who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You perform miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting up their voices joyfully. And they did that on page 158, where we have Mi Chamocha. Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Okay. We continue on page 162, where we have Veshamro. Veshamro, it's all the instructions on that we should observe the Sabbath now and for all the generations. Shamru b'nei Yisrael Hashabbat et Hashabbat le'dorotam ve'idonam Veshamru b'nei Yisrael So Okay, well, I'd like to ask anyone in this interesting week if anything unusual happened, anything you want to share with the congregation, perhaps something uplifting or something you need some support about. Anybody? Bunny?
I'll share. I had the opportunity to attend a B'nai Mitzvah
Oh,
for a very dear, dear friend of mine. It's, I think it's pronounced, it's Chaim. It's a conservative temple in Thousand Oaks.
uh-huh.
And,
I think it's reform, but okay.
no, I know it's conservative.
You know it's
But
conservative,
I
okay.
think it's Thousand Oaks. The conservative
Okay.
part I know. I think it was Thousand Oaks. but,
Okay then.
I was just so proud of her. She was initially my assistant principal, now she's just a dear friend. But years and years and years ago, this temple offered Hebrew classes, and I started taking it, and I just could not do it. And so I was so proud that she did. And she had a really long Torah portion and did just such a great job. She and her husband did it too, but he'd had a bar mitzvah, so it was like his second one.
Uh-huh,
But it was really, when you see all adults
yeah,
who feel that, the need to do that, and are so committed to the study, I
Yeah.
was just so impressed, and it was a beautiful, beautiful service. Little long,
oh
yeah, like almost 4 hours. I mean.
my
How
Lord,
many people? And there were 7.
7 people?
There were 7 people, and it was part of, the rabbi explained it was part of,
Wait, 7 people who had a bar mitzvah?
yeah,
Oh, I see,
there
I
were
see.
7 of them. There was, 3 women and 4 men or something like that. anyway.
Yeah.
And they each had, a Torah portion, and they each also gave a presentation.
Uh-huh,
Plus, it was part of Saturday morning services, so all of that.
right, so that added and plus
to-
added to
Yeah.
4 hours, and there you were.
But very,
Yeah,
I found it very emotional. I was just so proud of her.
isn't that nice? It's beautiful when you can be uplifted by a community event like that.
And I needed
Yeah.
something positive, and that was.
Yes, you did,
That
and
was something
I'm
very
glad for that.
Even though I couldn't follow a lot of prayers, because so much of
Right.
it was in Hebrew.
Right. Good old Hebrew. Yeah, it's a good thing Finn's learning Hebrew because he's gonna be super good, right, Finn? He's getting better every week, I gotta tell you. I hope you don't mind me sharing that, Finn. Thank you, yes. Okay, well, is someone else? Oh, please, Stacy? I'm sorry, Tracy.
That's okay, there's a stage here.
Yeah.
No, this isn't a good thing, but, if everybody could just send prayers to my husband and his family. His
Because he
mom,
lost his mom.
he lost his mom on Tuesday, and
Yeah.
tomorrow's the funeral, and he's just not doing very well.
It's very, very hard time. You can't underestimate that. We all expect it, but we're never prepared. You can't be. Am I right, Eileen? You can't be.
I had
Because-
a class and they said the most traumatic thing that can happen to you is losing your mother. Not your father, your mother. Yeah.
Most of us
I don't get that.
What?
I don't understand that.
Well, because people are generally closer to their mothers, I think. I think that's what that is adjacent to, but it really all depends on what your particular relationship was with either or how it happened and all of it. It's very hard to generalize something like that, I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, anyone else?
Well,
Yes, Eileen?
I went to the movies.
What'd you see?
I saw Saturday Night,
Oh, how was
Saturday
it?
Night Live.
How was it?
And I liked it. It's total chaos. And I felt so sorry for Lauren Michaels trying to get this group of children, to behave themselves and go on, and behave themselves and to get it together, to put it on. And if you watch Saturday Night Live and the people they got, I swear it's almost like they reincarnated.
Chevy Chase and
Chevy
John
Chase.
Belushi and
Exactly, they look like,
Yeah.
and the one who
Gilda
did
Radner?
Aykroyd, yes. And they said the one who did Gilda Radner, she'd never seen any of Gilda Radner. She'd never-
wow.
Well, half of these people have never,
Well,
she's
they're
been
old
gone
enough.
so long.
she's been gone so
Yeah,
long.
so they've never even seen them. But it was kind of fun, if we need fun.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's everybody. Okay, excellent. So let's continue now on page 166, where we ask Margaret once again to open the ark for the Amidah. The Amidah, which is silent, starts on 166. And it ends on 180. Okay. Okay, we're going to turn now to page 178, where we're going to sing Shalom Rav, and I'm going to close the ark so we can all be seated. Be at the height. There you go.
The one that I have is,
Oh, is it the other one?
Clever and Freelander, they know their version.
Da 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 da.
Yes.
Yeah. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Hasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Hasim Leolam. Yatahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. לכל השלום, שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. טוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום. בשלום. So let's take a moment now to talk about our Torah portion for the week. You all know the title character of this Torah portion. Every single person, even if you haven't studied a lot. Who is it? Say again?
Noah?
Yeah, Noah, who is in Hebrew Noach. Noach, would you believe, is the exact word meaning comfort. If you have a nice couch, you say, oh, יש לי סופה נוח. Again. Okay, so now you know he was supposed to be a comfort. And he was, in a way, he was the foundation of the following civilization that happened after him, but with many, many turns and twists along the way. For each of us, there are milestones on our spiritual journey that change the direction of our life, and they set us on a new path. A significant part of what faith is in Judaism, what do you think that is? That is to have the courage to pioneer, to do something new, to take the road less traveled, to venture out into the unknown. Ah! That makes us feel scared and crazy. No, but it also makes you feel strong and full of integrity and purpose, right? Because when you get that muscle going, that muscle of faith, that muscle of belief in the goodness of the world, that feeling that if you connect to your faith, you can connect to all the good things and bring them out and become the best person that you can be. That's what faith is. And faith in Judaism is all about that. Let's remember about Abraham and Sarah, the faith of Abraham and Sarah. God told them, Lech lecha mi'artzecha mi'beit avicha. You go from your father's house, from your place of birth, from everything you knew, and you'll go to a place where I will show you. Okay? And God told that to Abraham and Sarah, and so they went. They went because they had faith that when God told them that they would find it. So it's also what the Israelites did in the days of Moses when we journeyed forth into the wilderness out of Egypt where they had the flesh pots. Yes, there was slavery, but we knew what life was. And to go out into the wilderness was not an easy thing to do. You know, I think we talked about it during the high holidays, that there were many wild animals out in the wilderness. There were literally lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Yeah, oh my. Oh my. And snakes and scorpions, and lest you might forget, a myriad of spiders and who knows what else. We don't even know. They're probably half of them extinct by now. But it wasn't the sort of thing where, oh, there's mosquitoes, let me go get the bug repellent. No, you didn't have any of those things. It was a very difficult life. So they journeyed forth into the wilderness, guided only by a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of what appeared to be fire by night. You know, it wasn't really fire. It was an illusion that God created so that it looked like fire, kind of something like Aurora Borealis. Because if you can imagine, if there was an actual flame fire above the Mishkan, it would be dangerous, right? I mean, we can't even light a darn candle here because we don't want to have the danger of the candle. And that would have, it looked like a giant bonfire above the Mishkan. It's, you know, pretty amazing. Faith is precisely the courage to take a risk, knowing that, like Psalm 23 says, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. It took faith to challenge the religions of the ancient world, especially when they were embodied in the greatest empires of their time. It took faith to stay Jewish in the Hellenistic age, right? When the Greeks were flourishing and their culture was the up and coming thing, very avant-garde at the time. And they had the wealth and they had the power at the time. But Jews and Judaism must have seemed very small and parochial compared when it was, they didn't have that cosmopolitan culture of ancient Greece and the Alexandrian Empire, for goodness sakes. But they stayed Jewish. Alexander was okay with it at first. As time went on, it became a liability, and they did forbid the Jews from studying Torah. That is another story we'll take up later. It took the faith of Rabbi Yehoshua ben Gamla to build as early as the 1st century. What's the 1st century? After the year 0, right? Then there were 100 years. So was that the 1st century, or was the 100 to 200 the 1st century? Okay. Zero, okay. Well, sometime around then, about, it's really not that important, right? 20, what are we now? 2024.
Right.
So we're talking 2,024 years, give or take. Okay, so it took the faith of Rabbi Yehoshua ben Gamla to build the world's first ever system of universal compulsory education. That's in our Talmud in Baba Batra, just in case you wanted to look it up to say, oh, that Rabbi Janet, where did she get that? Well, it's Baba Batra, okay, and that's in the Babylonian Talmud.
and the faith of Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai to realize that Judaism could survive the loss of independence, land, the temple, and on the basis of an academy of scholars and a culture of scholarship, we became the people of the book. Right? The book became our land. The book became everything to us. And the Torah kept the Jewish people as much as the people kept the Torah. The Torah became our dwelling as Jews, and it was through learning that we retained our integrity as a people and were able to move forward as a nation. In modern times, even though many of Jewry's most distinguished minds either lost or abandoned their faith, nonetheless, that ancient reflex survived. How else are we to understand the unbelievable phenomenon that a tiny minority in Europe and in the United States was able to produce so many shapers of the modern mind and modern society? Each of them was a pioneer in his or her own way. You had Einstein in physics, you had Durkheim in sociology, Levi Strauss in anthropology, Mahler and Schoenberg in music, and a whole string of innovative economists from David Ricardo, who invented the law of comparative advantage. That's in the weeds of economics. But you know, economics, it's something I've been trying to understand all my life and I just don't get it. How do they know what's going to be happening? I don't know. I couldn't make a good investment to save my life. I don't get it. So I let other people tell me what to do in that instance. And, but then you all remember Milton Friedman, remember him? He had a theory that really went all over the world called the monetary theory. And a lot of our money system is run on that. And anyway, we also dominated the fields of psychiatry, psychotherapy, psychoanalysis, right? Remember Freud? First of all, Freud was a big Talmud scholar. He was not famous for that because he was not a clergy person at all. He was simply a boy who grew up in the culture where a boy was taught these things and spent years and years studying the Talmud. And he did. So you see, the psychoanalysis, if you look at the Talmud, there's a lot of psychology in it. You know, if a man loses his cow and then he suspects his neighbor of poisoning his cow, he's going to have resentment toward his neighbor. And it talks about the whole psychology of it. It's an amazing thing. I am not surprised that Freud invented psychology. And then also Viktor Frankl, you know his book, Man's Search for Meaning. It's a tiny pamphlet, but it is his experience. The first half of the book is his experience as an inmate of Auschwitz. But he was a doctor, a medical doctor, and it tells about how he tried to help people, you know, with no supplies whatsoever. He helped people to stay alive and to stay as healthy as they could. And if they had sores or something like that, he would try to dress them to help them heal. He did whatever he could. It's very moving. And then his invention was logotherapy, which he tried to help people who were traumatized to return to normal life. And that's the second part of the book. But actually, the first part of the book is the most interesting part. Man's Search for Meaning. And it's extremely short. It'll only take you one afternoon to read it. It's about 30, 40 pages, the first half. Little book. Okay, so anyway, and here we are in Burbank. We can't forget the pioneers of Hollywood and film were almost all Jewish. Almost all. and also including Broadway.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Even in popular music, the achievement is amazing, from Irving Berlin and George Gershwin, masters of the American musical, to Bob Dylan. Didn't have the greatest of voices, but he's quite a poet, right? And Leonard Cohen, right? Neil Diamond, you said, very good. In many cases, the fate of innovators is not so easy. You might know this. The people concerned had to face a barrage of criticism, disdain, opposition, or disregard. If you are a pioneer, you have to be prepared to be lonely, at best misunderstood, at worst vilified, right? And defamed. And as Einstein said this is a quote from Einstein. If my theory of relativity is proven successful, Germany will claim me as a German, and France will declare me a citizen of the world. Should my theory prove untrue, France will say that I am a German, and Germany will declare that, of course, I am a Jew. To be a pioneer, and this is the end of the quote, that was the end of the quote. To be a pioneer, as Jews know from our history, you have to be prepared to spend a long time in the wilderness. I know this personally from my own journey as a cantor and a rabbi. Sometime we'll talk about that. Don't forget the faith of the early Zionists. They were pioneers. They knew early on, some from the 1860s, others after the pogroms of 1880s. Herzl, after the Dreyfus trial, many of you remember the Dreyfus trial in France. Dreyfus, a Jew, was a very high, was he a general? Yes, he was a very high rank in the French army. And someone had done some treason, but it wasn't him. And that person was a very high echelon of the regular French society, and nobody would indict him. So they indicted Dreyfus instead. They blamed it all on him. I'm sure you've seen that movie where they broke his sword and take off his buttons and exiled him to an island never to be seen again. They did exonerate him, but he was very, very old when they did. And the person who was really guilty never did come to justice. So our forebears who saw that European enlightenment and emancipation just wasn't going to be what it was cracked up to be, and that despite his immense scientific and political achievements, mainland Europe was still no place for Jews to flourish. It just wasn't going to be. Some Zionists were religious, others were secular, but most importantly, they all knew when it comes to rebuilding a shattered world or a broken dream, you don't have to wait for permission from heaven. Heaven is telling you to go ahead. That is not carte blanche to do whatever you like. Not all innovation is constructive, and some can be very destructive. But this principle of walk on ahead, the idea that the Creator wants us, God's greatest creation, to be creative, is what makes us and Judaism unique in the high value it places on the human person and the human condition. The way people are, the way people experience life is very important. So God gives us strength when we have faith. Faith is the courage to take a risk for the sake of God or the Jewish people, to begin a journey to a distant destination, knowing that there will be hazards along the way, but knowing also that if God is with us, then we will align our will with God's will. of course, faith is not certainty, but faith is the courage to live with uncertainty. That is our human condition. If we accept it, we will go from strength to strength and become better and better as our lives move on day to day. And that's all I've got to say. Okay, we continue now with Aleinu. Wait a minute, did I miss your announcements? Okay. I don't know how I did that. No.
You put them wherever you think they fit, that's
Okay.
fine with me.
There you go.
Good Shabbos, everyone.
Good Shabbos.
And thank you for being here tonight at Shabbat Services at Temple Beth Emet of Burbank, conducted by Rabbi Janet Bieber with our music director, Robin Kreisberg. Thank you to Felicia for picking up the pizza. And thank you for Eileen for helping set up Only Shabbat. And Stacy Barlow, who's not here, has left some very unusual different things. A citron cake from our citron that we had a few weeks ago.
Which is English for etrog.
Yeah. And we had an etrog tree, but I don't think it survived.
Aw,
Maybe we'll plant another one.
yeah.
Religious school is in session this Sunday. There is a temple board meeting this Wednesday at 7 o'clock. We still collect food for local pantries, toys for Children's Hospital, and register your Ralph's card. And we are all here tonight because the Dodgers won on Wednesday. So they're not playing tonight. And in 3 weeks, we won't be in this building for Shabbat. We will be on Magnolia somewhere at the annual holiday in the park. And we'll do some kind of Shabbat services out there.
Oh,
We'll meet people in the community.
nice.
We'll figure something out.
Cool, very cool, sure.
And hopefully some people will get to know. Yeah.
Oh, no,
Magnolia
that's
Park,
Market
it's
Street.
Magnolia Boulevard, and it's from Florence down to Pass, I think, officially. But it's really from like Florence to Hollywood Way. And about 1 million people come out there for the holidays to kick off the holiday season in Burbank. Be a lot of people there, and a lot of them don't know that there's a temple here.
Yep.
And some of them are Jewish or no Jewish people. So we're gonna let them know we're here, and hopefully on other Friday nights, they'll mosey in and see what wonderful group we are. So prepare for that, and more information will be going out when we get more information from the people. who are
Okay, I'll look forward to that. That
Shabbat
sounds
shalom,
good.
everyone.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Mr. President.
And we continue on page 586, the second paragraph. Margaret, do you wanna?
Yes, I do.
Okay. We rise for the Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'll find your key.
Okay. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר ראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו בהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 588. שהוא נותן שמיים ויוסר הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגבהי מרומים הוא אלוהינו מאוד, אלף מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבותה אל לבבך. אדוני הוא אלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני ושמו אחד. Okay. And you can close the ark, even though we're going to, well, we don't open it for the cottage, do we? The Mourner's Cottage?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Well, then just leave it open. Because that's what we're going to do right now. We call to mind at this time those we remember tonight on the anniversary of their passing, as well as those we have lost in recent months. Are there any additions? I know that Betty's sister only died a week ago. What?
Bunny.
Bunny, I'm so sorry, Bunny. And I think, what is your sister's name?
Debbie Fischel.
Debbie Fischel. Okay, and that isn't on the list. So, but is there a list of the current? Because I only have the yard sites.
There's that long list, but it hasn't been updated.
No, don't do that.
Don't do the long list.
No,
We'll have to go over the long
okay,
list and figure
but I
out.
don't want to forget your sister's name.
Yes.
So, what? What are you pointing?
Tracy, Jeff's.
Yeah, and Paul's mom. Yes, okay, you know what, and, okay, first of all, let's just say their names first. Paul's mom is
Patricia Hartel.
Patricia Hartel.
Hartel.
Hartel. And forgive me, your sister Bunny,
Debbie Fischel.
Debbie Fischel. Okay. And any,
Jerry Dress.
Jerry Druss,
Sheldon Brook.
Sheldon Brook. Thank you. Mark,
Jerome Noodleman,
Jerome Noodleman.
see our site.
Tracy,
Carol Tillian.
Carol Tillian. Thank you. Yes, Eileen. What's
Francis
that?
Rose,
Who?
Francis Rose.
Francis Rose. Okay, yes.
Frederic Alberti.
Frederic Alberti. And of course, we remember the yard sites of Dora Bigley, Bernard Cohen, Patricia Hartel. Okay. Aaron Kleinman, Eve Pandrowitz, Francis Rose, William Feinzilber, Sarah Schiffman, Bess Jacob. Okay, may their memory be for a blessing. And we say the Mourner's Kaddish on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah,
Amen.
ve'alma divrach hirutei ve'amlich malachutei. V'chayefon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpotar v'yiromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudisha rechu. Le'ela mincho berchata v'shirata. Tushberchata v'nechemata. Gamiran ve'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi shlama Rabba mishamaya v'chayim. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Ose shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, Amen. Okay, and I'm just going to ask God's blessing on you, which is on page 603. Okay. May God bless you and keep you. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. And you say, Ken yehi ratzon. May God's light shine upon you and may God be gracious to you. Yaher Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. Ken yehi ratzon. And may you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace. Yisa Adonai panav elecha, ve'asem lecha shalom, ken yehi ratzon. Okay. Shalom v'broma, u'yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'yimru amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Okay, thank you, Robin. If I leave this book here, can I expect it to say?
Yeah, we should stay.